Hey Chris, how's it going?
All right, just great, Dan. Thanks.
Good. I'm a physical therapist, and we're going to be using VIFIVE to assess the shoulder issue you've been having some trouble with. So, you want to give me a quick rundown and a little bit more information on what's going on?
Well, it's my when I try to lift my shoulder up to the side, it really gives me some pain. About Probably about three quarters of the way up. It's a little bit. It doesn't want to move in all directions quite right,
Mm-hmm.
but really moving outside and up over my head is the biggest difficulty.
All right, excellent. And then, yeah, what we want to do is start with some of the movement assessments that we have available. So, if you have enough room, what we'll do is I will show you a single assessment with some shoulder elevation. And as you can kind of see on the screen there, we have our model. And what we want you to do is move back so the camera can see your full body. And we'll
You want me to stand up?
start the assessment. Yes, please. Yeah, and it looks like it's already calibrated. Good, and then you'll raise your arms over your head just like the image showed you. And let me know when you...
There's where I get pain, and to get it up, I kind of gotta force it.
Got it. Okay, come back down, and let's do this time, let's do only the painful shoulder, your right shoulder.
Okay.
Good. Is that where you have pain right about there?
Yeah, it starts right about there, and when I come down, it lets off, I guess, right about there. But then right here, it really starts to kick in, and kind of gotta force it to get it up any higher.
Got it. Okay, go ahead and end that. And now we're going to look at some shoulder flexion next. So if you can go ahead and watch my preview of, well, one moment. There we go. So you're going to side face, and I want that right shoulder facing towards me or towards the camera. And you're going to do that same motion where you're going to try to raise that arm over your head.
Okay.
Straight out in front. Let me know when there's pain or if you have any issues.
And there's a little bit there, not quite as much. I get a little higher this way.
Okay.
Kind of, that's about it right there.
Great. All right, and then now let's turn to the other side so we can get the left shoulder range of motion. You're going to use that in deflection right in front of you.
Okay.
Awesome. Any issues with that?
Nope, that was good.
Great. Looks great. All right. Now let's look at two more things with the shoulder. I'm going to have you stand right there. And let's look at your internal rotation. So you're going to be coming just like the model here. Elbow at the side, fist coming towards your belly button. I'll tell you when to start.
Okay.
I want you to move over just, yep, perfect. All right. Good. Go ahead and start with the right arm. And come directly in. Awesome. And then come back out. Let's do that 2 more times.
Yeah, that's not too bad. Okay. This doesn't feel too bad.
Excellent. And let's do it on the other side just to have a comparison. Awesome. All right, and let's look at one more aspect. Let's look at the shoulder W of just kind of coming here. You can stay standing, and what I want to see is those elbows coming out towards the side, kind of like you're saying a field goal, it's good.
Okay.
You can go ahead and start, and when ready.
That's not too bad either. Feels a little tight at the end, but it's doable and not painful.
Awesome. And we'll check one more. Shoulder external rotation at 90-90. So this one I want you to do on the right and left side. You can choose whichever one you want to do first. And we'll go ahead and start when you're ready. Try it about 90 degrees, coming straight back, almost like you're throwing a baseball.
That's a little stiff.
Okay, right about there.
A little bit painful when we get way back.
Got it.
So kind of starts about there, and again, kind of forcing it to go a little bit farther.
Okay, excellent. That's good. And let's go ahead and get that other side for measurement. Yeah, you can definitely see a little bit of a difference there in your range of motion. So we'll review that in just a moment. All right, excellent. And then we can also do it to the front too. We'll just see how the data collection goes going in this motion. Same thing you're doing, just both at the same time.
Okay. Yeah, so just a little bit, not quite wanting to go the whole way on the right side there.
Awesome. All right, let's go ahead and come back, and you can have a seat and I'll share some of the information that we found during our session today. So if I share my screen with you, you're seeing what I'm seeing when we come to the review portion of the appointment. We have today's appointment, and we'll just start with our shoulder abduction. So what it looks like is your right side is a little bit more limited than the left. You had 143 as your max range of motion on that right side, 162 as your max on the left, which is definitely showing there's a range of motion limitation. When we look at where I took a screenshot where your pain increase was, right, you can kind of see your shoulders a little bit more elevated over here, where you're kind of substituting that pattern, and again, that 136 degree or being in that not optimal range of the orange, just is showing that you're having a little bit of difficulty with that shoulder, indicating there's likely some type of impingement or musculoskeletal kind of interference there that we'll kind of review in just a moment once we kind of look at all the other data that we've gotten from our assessment. Same thing here, we're seeing a little bit of a difference between your max range of motion on the right and left, right? 136 for the right, 155 for the left. It's definitely showing a decrease in range of motion for your right shoulder, indicating some type of impingement or interference with that range. Any questions about that?
No, it makes sense.
All right, good, yeah. Now you can kind of see where you had, I took the pain screenshot. So right in that upper range, which again is really common with shoulder impingement. So as we come over here, you can kind of see the skeleton and you can kind of see the limited range on the right. And versus there's your left where you're getting it all the way overhead. So there's your left max, there's your right max. Definitely see a big difference, correct?
Yes, absolutely.
All right, awesome. And then yeah, we can also look at dashboard. It will have different ways of showing the flow and the congruency of your movement, but we don't have that information right now, but it's just showing symmetry. Again, anything under 90% generally is something we want to pay attention to. And we can look in shoulder abduction again too and see if this has the data that we want with it. Yep, so again, a little less on the symmetry, and your flexibility score, which is an average of all of our users, is 62%, so definitely a little bit lower, so we want to get that mobility a little bit better and improve your mobility. All right, now let's look at our shoulder internal rotation. Again, so even though I don't think there's much pain with this one, right, it shows that there was definitely a difference in your right and left, so that's something good to note. Let's go ahead and come down. Looks like there's a little inaccuracy there, but that's okay. We'll get there. All right, shoulder W. Again, pretty close here. Right was a little bit more, but again, not too much of a difference, so not a big concern. Shoulder external rotation, you did say you had a little bit of pain here with that aspect. Again, big differences. We'll have to check some of the accuracy, but right is 78 degrees, left is 141. That's a very significant difference in your range of motion. So let's look at your left. No problem getting it back. Right side, a little bit back. Let's see. And finally, we did the standing 90 internal. Again, we don't have enough information on this one yet, so we'll come back to that one. All right, so we'll just go ahead and kind of use this as a review. So as a prescription for your exercises, because you're having pain with shoulder impingement, I believe that you have shoulder impingement. So what we want to do is create a new plan for you. Good. And some of the exercises I want you working on is mobility for your shoulder, okay? So we want to strengthen and mobilize your shoulder, and we're going to do that in a variety of ways. Well, first one I think is going to be really easy is the child's pose, just getting your shoulders above your head. Again, I don't want you to do anything past the pain tolerance, so if you get down to where you're having pain, I don't want you to go further than that, okay?
Okay.
All right. Open books. This is going to be good to kind of open up your thoracic spine, get some cervical mobility, and help that whole area of the shoulder complex to allow better range of motion and helping you get up. I'm going to have you continue to do shoulder W's. The reason why I like shoulder W's is because it's going to create better scapular retraction and better engagement. It's going to help stabilize your shoulder as you're elevating it and raising it above your head. And then we're probably not ready for tricep extension, but for wall angels, what I'll have you do is you can get against the wall and you can start using your arms above the wall and using the wall to assist your arms up into that range. Now again, if you start to have that pain, that's where I want you to go up to and stop. If it continues to get better as you move, I want you to continue. If it starts to get worse, I want you to hold on this exercise and not continue. And we're going to do 10 reps of 2 sets, two sets of 10 repetitions on all of these just to keep it consistent for the time being, okay? And then finally, I want to do the cross-body stretch. Again, I want you holding this for about 5 to 10 seconds. Again, this is just going to help open up that posterior capsule of your shoulder, stretch your rotator cuff, and hopefully allow for a better engagement of your shoulder to raise it above your head. So we'll save that. We're going to send all this to you in an email that's going to be highly detailed and describe everything we've done today. It'll have some of the screenshots of our review that will leave you a little bit more information, and then obviously a channel where you can communicate back and forth with me. That way, if you have any questions, you'll be able to contact me with anything you need.
Perfect.
All right.
That's great.
Any questions otherwise?
No, I think it should be pretty easily done.
Yeah, and then again, and we'll talk about goals in your plan of care, but I'll have you follow up in a week, and goals will be decreased pain and increased range of motion, which we'll be able to assess at your next visit.
Awesome. Sounds good.
All right, cool. Thanks a lot, Chris. I appreciate it. Have a great day.
Thanks, Dan. You too.
Yeah. Bye-bye.